Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to share with you what my favorite products that I tried for the first time in 2019 were. So some of these are new. Some of these have been around for a while, but I was late to the boat. But I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to tell you what really impressed me and what really made a difference. And they just, every time I look at these products, they're like right here in front of me, I just like, look in the candy store, they just make me happy. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. And I don't know. By the way, you hear that? My girls are doing chores, they're doing dishes right now, so they're unloading and reloading. So you hear a little clickety clank, you know, a little screech in the background. It's just kids doing chores. I've got a lot of lip stuff, and I always save the lip stuff for the last, and I'm not going to. I'm going to do this first today. All right, so I fell in love at the tail end of 2018 in November, or was it early December, with Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. So I was like, okay, I can't talk about the red velvets. Those were 2018, but 2019, Lisa came out with some beautiful lipsticks. And these are the ones here that out of all the ones that I purchased this year, I reached for the most. This shade right here, Velvet Muse, this is from her latest collection that came out last month. Look at that. Velvet Muse is just the most beautiful kind of pinky nude shade. Another lipstick from that collection that launched this fall, these are going to be terrible swatches if I'm doing it this way, is this one right here. This one's a Velvet Fawn. This is kind of like the most nude. You can see it's not as pink as this one. It's just gorgeous. So this summer, Lisa released a 4-piece collection of pinks. These three are the three that I wear the most. These two here are the Insanely Saturated formula, which they are a demi matte. So this one here is Skyscraper Rose, and this one here is Rainbow Spill. They both are the biggest lip statements that you could possibly wear. I love them so much. This one here is a different formula. It's luxuriously lucent. And I didn't think I was going to be reaching for a pink lipstick like this, but it is so gorgeous. And because, where is it? This lipstick shade, by the way, it's the luxuriously lucent formula, but it's called Love of My Life. It's this one right here. And this is the one there are days that I wear like a really light hydrating concealer under the eyes, a little bit of a tinted fiber brow gel, and this lipstick, and I use it on my lips and on my cheeks. And I really am not wearing a lot, but when you tap it out, let me just quickly, do you see how it goes from this to this? It is the most beautiful cream blush. And I never thought that I would use a lipstick, especially a luxury lipstick, as a blush, but it makes the most beautiful, gorgeous color. And it doesn't look too cool and it doesn't look too warm. It's just like the perfect color. And if you're wearing the lipstick and wearing it, it gives the most beautiful cohesive look. So these are my 5 favorite shades from Lisa Eldridge lipsticks this year. This has been another one of my favorite lipsticks. This is from Charlotte Tilbury's Hot Lips Volume 2, and this is JK Magic. One of the things that I love about it is the fact that this lipstick is refillable. Now, you know how long it takes me to pan a lipstick, so I don't know that I'm ever gonna need a refill for this before, hopefully I use it before it goes bad, but I love this. And even though this looks like the same shape that she would put her Matte Revolution formula in, I think it was just the design for the shape of the bullets for these, because some of the Volume 2 Hot Lips are Matte Revolution, and some of them are the cream formula, the kissing formula. I think this one's the kissing formula, and I love it oh so much. I fell in love with Burt's Bees lipsticks. Now there are 2 that I use a lot. This one here is one of them. This one is called Lily Lake. It's a beautiful mauve pink, and it is so comfortable and so gorgeous on the lips. The other one that I use a lot is called Sunset Cruise, and it's just a little bit warmer and a little bit more, it kind of reminds me of like papaya. This is Sunset Cruise and that is Lily Lake, but they're really easy, comfortable, sheer lipsticks that go on beautifully and feel amazing on the lips. My 2 favorite reds that I purchased this year, one of them was this. It's from Hourglass. It's the Confessions lipstick, and this here is in the shade My Icon Is. That is one swipe, just like from the bottom up. It is the most beautiful, ultra pigmented, gorgeous and comfortable on the lips red. This is another one, is in another slimline packaging. This one, by the way, is from Bite Beauty. And this is one of they're very similar in tone. This one's just a hair deeper. This one's a little bit more kind of like a watermelon pink. This one here is called Sangria Slush, and it's their Outburst Longwear lip stain. So I love this one. I was worried when I purchased this that I would end up somehow getting a hair stuck in here, and as I pull the hair out of my lip product, I get a little trail. And this does actually stain your lips. The longer you leave this on, the more intense the stain is. So it intensifies with wear. So if I'm gonna have to wipe this swatch off pretty soon. It might leave just a little hint of pink behind, but the longer you wear it, the more intense and more red it becomes. And it's beautiful that way. I didn't find that I had problems with it traveling outside of my lip line. I was kind of careful if I was like drinking from a coffee cup, because if I didn't always hit like my lip print in exactly the same spot, I was worried I'd like get it in places where I didn't need it. But I feel like I like the formula. It's a little bit more high maintenance, but it powers through and lasts all day. I love this. These Burt's Bees lip oils were kind of like my hero product from when I discovered them in summertime. My husband brought them home as a surprise for me, along with the Burt's Bees lipsticks. And I used them all summer and all through fall. They were kind of like the easiest thing to drop in my purse. And these are my two favorite shades. This one here is Showering Sunset, and this one here is Caramel Cloud. You can see they're very glossy and reflective, but they are the most comfortable, super easy. You don't need a mirror, and they hydrate your lips. Now, they don't wear very long at all. You do need to constantly reapply them, but they feel so good and they're so easy to apply. Like literally, I do it all the time without a mirror. I love them so much. I think they're great, great products. I fell in love with this. I was watching Jessica from Jam Beauty 89 talk about this Sephora Melting Lip Click, and this is the shade Caramel. And this right here, these shades are very similar. So here's the Sephora Melting Lip Click. It has a little bit more pigment to it. It's one of those that advances when you push this bottom button here, so you don't want to over click it, but it's comfortable. It's easy to apply. Again, you don't need a mirror for it, and it makes your lips feel incredible. And it's also, for me, just the perfect my lips but better, glossy, juicy, hydrated, amazing, and a little hint of color. It's so beautiful. I have a trio of these Pat McGrath mini lip balms. There's a clear one, which I like, but the ones that I love are the tinted ones. This one is my favorite, and as you can tell, it's like down to a little nubbin of nothing. This is the shade Blow Up, and is so gorgeous, but it's kind of like a neutrally creamy nude. So Blow Up is here, and this is Flush 3. Now, what I like about these is they're glossy, they're comfortable, they're not too shiny. I mean, they're shiny, but they're not lip gloss shiny. And they're hydrating, and the color fades beautifully. Now, I don't ever expect a balm to stay on my lips all day, especially a tinted balm, but what I don't want is that when it fades, it kind of clings and patches, like maybe in the crevices of my lips, or if I have any dry flaky areas. These just, they look gorgeous as they lightly fade away, and they're super easy to reapply. I don't know that I would ever buy a full size one because they're $40 each, and $40 for a lip balm is kind of like, but the trio is only $25, and I was like, yeah, that. Last two products I have for you are my favorite lip glosses this year. One of them is probably no surprise. It's the Fenty Gloss Balm. This is the shade Fussy. Fussy is just like the best ever. I've never tried the original Gloss Balm shade. So this right here is Fussy. It's super glossy. It's glorious. It's comfortable. Mine has been in and out of my purse so much that the packaging is starting to really wear. But I take that everywhere and I'm almost done with it. And there is a massive amount of product in there. So the fact that I'm more than halfway done with it and I've been using it nonstop, I think says a lot. With as many lip products as I have like 190 lip products. The fact that I'm still plowing through a product like that is super surprising to me. The other one surprised me because it came in a BoxyCharm. Now, I don't always have good relationships with lip products that come in BoxyCharm. I usually don't care for either the shade if I like the formula, or if the formula doesn't work for me, I like the shade, and it's never usually both. But this right here, this is from Dominique Cosmetics. This is one of her lemonade lip glosses in the shade Peach Tea. This smells like a sugary concoction. Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to take off my emergency alert bracelet and swatch this for you right here. This is the most perfect. This is the one I'm wearing today. I wear this so much, and I didn't think I would wear kind of like this peachy color, but I do. And what I like about both of these glosses is that they're glossy, but they don't collect in the corners of my mouth and start to string and pull. Some glosses do that if I over apply, and I always over apply. But these both, the Fenty and this Dominique Cosmetics one, they're great. And they look good, they smell good, they feel good. Everything about them is just like a round of applause, please. Oh, by the way, here's the stain after maybe like 4 minutes of having that red lipstick from Bite Beauty on. It does stain your lips, and so when it wears away and it leaves you with color, which I like. And the longer you wear it, the darker it stains. So I tried a lot of foundations this year, ones that were newly released this year, as well as ones that I hadn't tried and I've been curious about. And there are two. If you're looking for something that's light and glowy, that's not full coverage, but does really perfect your skin and really make it look pretty, I love this. This is Flower Beauty's Light Illusion. I love the packaging on this. I'm like almost halfway through with this. And the fact that I bought a foundation that I've almost gone halfway through in the course of a year when I purchased so many, and I don't wear foundation every day. I wear a foundation maybe 2 to 3 times a week. A lot of times it's just me and concealer like all over the face, but I love this so much. And the fact that it has beautiful packaging, it's glass, it's got a pump on it. It looks luxe. It feels luxe. It wears luxe. The other one that really surprised me, I didn't think it was going to work for me at all. And every time I wear this, my skin looks gorgeous. But I think a lot of it depends on how you apply it. This is your high coverage foundation. This is one, if you need like full beat, this is gonna give it to you. And it's from Juvia's Place. This is their I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. I heard velvet and matte, and I was like, that's probably not gonna work for me. And it works beautifully. I wear the shade, by the way, Bali, which is 720. And my favorite way to use this is to use a little microfiber sponge, or any sponge. But I find that if I use a brush, I get much higher coverage. But if I use a damp beauty sponge, especially one of these little microfiber ones from Juno & Co., I feel like as I press it into my skin, it sucks up the excess and it leaves me with just enough, not too much. I don't use a lot of this. I don't really go for like total and complete coverage. I go for my skin, but perfected. And I wear a light enough layer of this. You can still see like my hyperpigmentation spot and my freckles. You can layer it on, so like everything is obliterated and there is nothing but utter perfection there. But I find the older I get, the more that type of heavy makeup ages me. But this looks gorgeous in a light layer with a damp sponge. Oh, so perfect. I came across 2 concealers, neither of which are new for this year, but they were new to my collection and they have become like superheroes for me. Like on days that I want an absolutely perfect look, these are the ones that I reach for. So one is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. I think I got this, what was it, like in January or February? I don't remember. I've had it for quite a while. And as I'm looking in the tube like this, like I can see the bottom. And as I'm rolling around on the sides here, I can definitely see that there's very little left. The doe foot doesn't always come out completely covered. I don't think there's a lot left. I have loved this concealer. This for me is perfect now that my skin is older. My under eyes are a little drier. It's very high coverage, but it's not drying. And that's where me and Shape Tape don't get along, is that it is high coverage, but underneath my eyes, I need more hydration there. Otherwise, my under eye wrinkles just kind of, it looks like a desert. And like I have like little cakey plates of makeup sitting on top. It doesn't happen with this. This is my favorite high coverage concealer. It's beautiful. They also have like a multitude of shades. And one that I picked up during Sephora's 21 Days of Beauty in the fall was this one. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. Their lightest shade is fair. It's the one that I have. But this also, it's not, it says complete, it's not complete coverage. It's, for someone who you can still slightly see my dark circles here, this is good coverage. This is probably even great coverage. If you want amazing coverage, you go with this one. But this one looks so much like skin. And if you're wearing just concealer, because there are days that all I do is like a little bit here, corners of my nose, and hyperpigmentation spot on any other, like if I have a blemish or something, and I just tap it out in that area. And this, I'm able to tap out in the area, and the rest of it kind of blends into my skin. This, I have to wear this, and then if I'm, oh look, you can see that this spot is concealed. Like it's all pretty here, but it doesn't blend into the rest of my bare skin. So either I need to wear this with foundation, or I have been known to just take it and like and wear it like foundation. I've done that too. But these have been my two favorite because they're both hydrating, they're both really great coverage, and they wear beautifully all day. I love and I hate powder at the same time. I love that it sets my makeup and keeps everything in place. I love that it makes it easier for me to blend like bronzer and blush over the top of my foundation or concealer, but I hate that it can make me look dry and cakey. And my favorite two powders, I would say, are from Hourglass, the loose powder, the veil setting powder, and the ambient lighting powder that comes in like the little baked dome. Beautiful, beautiful, but I've had those. They weren't new to me this year. Ones that I bought that were new this year that really surprised me. One was this. This is Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Loose Powder in the shade Pound Cake. First of all, I think the packaging for this, that it has this little mesh net here, beautiful. You can stick a brush in there, or you can stick a damp sponge in there and get what you want and apply it wherever, however. I think it works really well. It's very heavily scented. That's not a favorite, but I'm not a, one of those who's so sensitive to scents that this like gives me a headache. It doesn't bother me, but I just want to make sure you know that if you're sensitive to scents. It's very heavily fragranced. But for some reason, this right over the top of my pores, it's like goodbye pores. And when I use this powder like over my nose and my pores, it stays all day, and it really does diminish the look of my pores. And for that reason alone, it's like, I feel like I've won like the Super Bowl or something. It's fantastic. Two other powders that really surprised me. And this one is kind of a cheat because I've had it before, but I never had it in the right shade. I'd had it in shades that were way too dark for me, and every time I put them on, I look like a crazy person. So I ended up giving them to other people who fell in love with the powder. It's very expensive. It's $60. It's Lancome's Absolute Powder. I have the shade Absolute Pesh. I've tried Ivory, and I forget the other shade that I tried. But the reason I ended up ordering them off the internet, and let me tell you, this is when I say that Lancome's color swatches on their website, as well as Macy's, as well as every other place I looked, they're not terribly accurate. I'm sure they're all from the same place. But what I love about this powder, it's very finely milled, but it has the most beautiful kind of glow. Do you see that little bit of a shimmery glow? Oh, it's gorgeous. And there are days that I use this like as a little light highlight. I'm going to put a little bit of this on right now because every time I open this, I have to. It's so pretty, but I love that it doesn't make my texture look crazy. And I'm getting older. My pores are a little bit larger than they used to be. I do have, crow's feet, fine lines around here. And I like to highlight like from the top of my brow all the way down here. So kind of like in a C shape. And I find that when I use this powder there, even if I use it like all over my face, because there are times that I'll take it and I'll just put it everywhere. And it's just gorgeous. It really, really is. It brings a glow to the face that is like unreal and unlike anything else. And I've loved this for, I don't know, I started using this even before Jaclyn Hill started like telling everybody about it on YouTube years ago. I've loved this powder for a long time, but I never had the right shade. So I'm glad to finally have it, and it makes a huge difference. And using it just as highlight works great now that my skin's a little bit older, a little bit drier, and a little bit, you know, crepier, a little wrinklier, which is fine. I don't mind. I just don't want my makeup to make it look more than it is. So that's been good. Another one that I like, it works great all over the face, but I particularly love it under my eyes, is from Jouer. This is the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. I didn't know how great this was. And for me, like, I don't really need more powder here. But the problem that I have is my under eyes are really dark right here. And I've lost a lot of weight over the last 2 years. And like more than 100 pounds in the last 2 years. And I find that my under eyes look a little sunken in. And when I use this powder just right here to set my under eye, it looks good under my under eye, but it also keeps those more hydrating concealers from reflecting light back to the point where you can actually see where it dips down. I don't know what it is. This really kind of makes this little dip that I have right here that's more obvious now that I've lost all this weight to the tops of my cheeks. It just kind of blends it all together and it's less obvious. And for that reason, I love this. And the packaging is also so pretty. It's like a little enamel top. It's really beautiful. Everything about this powder is nice. So nice. This was the one bronzer that I bought this year that I was like, ooh, you're fantastic. This is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Into Sun bronzer from the Sunstalker bronzer collection. She released a whole bunch of bronzers this year, and I really like this one. I've used it a lot. This is the lightest shade there is, the Into Sun, and I've used it so much that I've lost the impression of the FB for Fenty Beauty right here. You can see that there's something there, but I can't always tell that it used to be an F and a B, but that just means that I love it a lot. I've used it a lot. This is one of the bronzers that I've used the most this year. And I told myself, if you have too many bronzers, don't buy any, but when this one came out, I was like, I think I need to try you. It's been a good purchase for me. A couple of blushes that I fell in love with. These are collaborations between ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. This one here is called My Sun and Stars, and it is really a bright, vibrant, kind of orangey tangerine shade, but it has a little bit of shimmer to it. And this one here is called I Need Space. So these are what the blushes look like. This is the I Need Space, and this is My Sun and Stars. They're so beautiful on the skin. And I was worried that My Sun and Stars, because it is so bright and like in your face, it would be too much. It's not. You just have to use a lighter hand if you're just a little bit on the fair side. But I love them both, and they, especially for summer, this one here, the My Sun and Stars, this kind of tangerine one, it's just glorious. This came in a BoxyCharm, and I fell in love. This is probably one of my most loved, most used products that I've ever received in a BoxyCharm, and it still looks brand new. This is the Colorete Blush Trio from Alamar Cosmetics. And I mean, it's beautiful. You can still perfectly see the, you know, the imprint in each one of the pans, but I have been like scrubbing into these, and I normally just take a blush brush and do this, and these are the shades that I'm wearing today, so we'll just not waste. We'll just gonna put it on. But I love these so much. I heard some mixed reviews from people, and I don't know whether it was the shades or the formula. I haven't had any problem. I feel like they wear beautifully. I love that they also have a satin finish to them, so they're not a complete flat matte, but I think they give a beautiful subtle pink. They look really intense in the pan, especially the more orangey ones, but they're really gorgeous on the skin. And this is the Fair Light trio, and I think it's amazing. All right, I told myself I had to slow down on buying highlights. So the only one that I really use on a regular basis that I bought this year, there are other ones that I have that are nice. So it's not as if I didn't buy a highlight this year, but the one that I really used the most was this. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy. This is when they finally restocked it, because I remember it coming out in fall of 2018, and it got snatched up, and then it was like, oh, so sorry, limited edition. You didn't get it? So sorry. But this is when they restocked it in the spring, I was like, I need you in my life. I've used this a lot. I really have. And the weird thing is it doesn't really look like it because it still has that really cool imprint of, you know, what looks like a silk sheet or something in it. I love this so much. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. I feel guilty showing you this because it's a limited edition product. This is this year's Hourglass Ambient Edit palette. This is the Ghost Edit. I use this so much. It has one of my all-time favorite face setting powders here, Ambient Lighting in Diffused Light. You also get right here, Dim Light, Diffused Light, one of their highlighters or strobing. You get a bronzer, a strobing blush, and just one of their regular ambient lighting blushes. This is great. I think it's fantastic. I do have another one of these 6-pan palettes from them from the holidays. I think it was 2017. I love it. I use it a lot too, but this one, I find that the colors are just that much more perfect for me. I love this. I use it all the time. So a lot of eyeshadows. I'm going to talk about them really quickly, and they're going to kind of go in order from where I purchased them in the year. This was one of the first palettes I picked up at the beginning of 2019. And I think, was it February-ish? January, February when this came out? I don't remember. It was their spring collection. This is the Sweet Talk palette from ColourPop, and it was the first palette that had a Super Shock shadow in there. And I love the Super Shock formula. This is great. It also has a couple of pressed glitters. When I was using the pressed glitters in this palette, I had so much success with them compared to the pressed glitters I'd gotten in the Too Faced Pretty Rich palette. And that one, they felt the texture was so grainy and there was so much fallout, and whatever there was that was kind of mixed in with the glitter itself to kind of create the glitter shadow itself, the medium that they mixed it with, it just didn't stay on my eye. Even with the glitter glue, it was like there was no way those glitters were staying on. These guys here, I didn't need any glitter glue. And then I remember hearing people complain about the fact that they're not eye safe. And then I was like, oh, poo, I don't want glitter. But the truth is, I did use these glitters. I do still use these glitters, and I love this palette, and it's really beautiful. And it seems like it's a lot of the same with a lot of pinky peaches in here, but it's just beautiful. So glorious. In July, I remember watching a video from Mel Thompson, and she was talking about Sydney Grace eyeshadows, and I picked up the Autumn's Rain palette. I have used this palette so much. It's beautiful. It's glorious. I'm wearing a couple of shades today. There are the mattes in here, this one and this one, but I love the formula of these eyeshadows. I also picked up some other products from Sydney Grace during their Christmas and July sale. These are the other ones that I got. And the great part was if you bought a certain dollar amount of products, you would get a new bundle free. So I bought the Autumn's Rain palette, and I got this 9-pan bundle here called Raspberry Kiss. And then I got a powder and a highlight and these 4 shades here, which took me to a point where I'd spent enough money, and they sent me this right here. And this is the eyeshadow bundle that I'm wearing today. It's the Mountain Trail bundle. And I think this right here made me fall in love with greens. I'd never liked green eyeshadow before. I love the tones. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of different formulas. Like, they're just miraculous. They're just gorgeous on the eye. I'm wearing both of these today. I'm also wearing this olivey shade right here and this mustard. A few others too, but like the mattes are beautiful. The shimmers are just like, metallics are out of this world. The formula wears so well. They blend so easily. And a bundle, I think, is $33. You can get 9 eyeshadows for $33. Like, really? Crazy reasonable. So good. The formula is outstanding. In August, Jackie Aina launched her collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. Oh, I love this palette so much. I was a little concerned that because there were some purples in here and pinks that I didn't know what I was going to do with this, but I've fallen in love with this shade here, Wigglies, with both of these shades, and with everything down here. I have not used a lot of the pink and the purple. I have used it, but not a lot. But like Ginger is a favorite. Lituation is a favorite. I can't say it right, but Dwellers, I love that shade. Like everything in here, I don't really use like Supreme or Pinker that much, but the purples are gorgeous. The formula is Anastasia Beverly Hills formula that doesn't let you down. It's really, really, really good. And I was glad to be able to support Jackie, but I also love when it's not just I buy it to support somebody, but I buy it and it's really good. I love this so much. I've used it a lot. I forgot to put this in my November favorites. It came in November, I reviewed it, I loved it, and then I forgot to mention it. But I'll tell you, I have used this a lot. You can tell which shades kind of get used the most here, like these two rows. I live in these two glitters here. If I'm going to wear these two glitters, I'm going to wear this one. Sometimes I wear this one. I haven't used a lot of this kind of more purpley pinky row here, but I live like from here over. I do want to get into this. I do want to do one of those more rosy eye looks, but I love the mattes in here with my whole heart. The one thing that I will say, I was worried about glitters not being eye safe. These stick beautifully to the eye. I don't get hardly any fallout with these. So if you're looking for a good glitter, these are fantastic. The metallic shades are really nice. The sequin shades are the ones that aren't my favorite, because although if you look at them, and I'm sure you've seen, it's this row right here. I'm sure you've seen pictures of these. They have a lot of glitter in them. But even when I put my finger in there and then press it on the lid carefully, like it's recommended by Tati herself, I still end up with glitter fallout under my eye, like a crazy amount. It looks like I've been like crying tears or using it as highlight to highlight my dark circles. But if I want to use it, what I usually end up doing is I just use it as a matte, because I take it with a brush and you start to blend it, and then it kind of blends and buffs away the glitter, which is fine. But I wish, because they are so pretty, I really wish that there was a way that you could actually use these and have the glitter stay and look like this. It doesn't for me. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I'm following the technique that Tati recommended. It's not my favorite formula, but the rest of the palette, I'm not going to complain because the rest of it is just so, so good. And the last thing that has knocked my socks off, and I have used so much in such a short amount of time, really surprised me, is this. This is the Going Coconuts palette. I ordered this right around Thanksgiving. It had been out for a while. I'd been wanting it, and I was like, don't do it. And then there was a great sale, and so I did. And I have used it so much. It came late November. I've used this so much, and I've gotten so many beautiful looks out of it. I know I'm just going to continue to reach for it. I do have that big Bare Necessities palette, and that one's nice, but I feel like this one is just a little bit more up my alley, because you give me too many options. You know, you give me a palette like this or a 30 pan palette, and I get easily distracted, and then I try like 10 different eyeshadows on my look, and then it's just a big muddy mess. So when you limit me to 9 pans, I can really get a super easy, cohesive look in a short amount of time. And this right here is like a nude lover's dream. I feel like these 9 pan palettes from ColourPop are fantastic. I have 4 others. I have the purple, the blue, the yellow, and the red. And there have been a ton of others that have kind of, like the lilac one looked cool, and the orangey glad one looked cool, and the kind of mandarin, I don't know, clementine one. There was a lot that had me interested, but I realized I was less likely to use those super colorful palettes all the time because it's not my personal makeup aesthetic. And then they came out with this beauty and these limited number of shadows, like 9 shadows that you know all go together. It's been like the best thing ever for me. And this, I've used this palette so, so much. I've even used like this shade right here as like a highlight on my face. It's kind of silly, but like I did one day and it's so pretty. It's a little chunky. It looks better on the eye, but it did make a really gorgeous highlight. And I was like, I love everything about you. I find that the smaller, the fewer number of shades there are, the less likely I am to make some crazy concoction where, and this, and 12 shadows later on one eye. Everything just looks like a muddy mess, but that's me. So I do better with small, a reduced number of pans in the palette, and this 9-pan kind of layout is my perfect. Just enough, not too much. So setting sprays are the last thing I wanted to talk to you about. One that I found this year that I absolutely fell in love with is this. This is the Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I can never remember the name. I always have to read it. It's really quite long. And this is one that Taylor Wynn kept talking about and talking about and talking about. And every time I would go to Ulta, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And somehow this year I found it. And it's $7.99 if you were to buy just this. But I frequently get it when it's on sale, like, 40% off, or buy one, get one 30% off. I don't know, get them both at 30% off. There's always some sort of a deal. So I never end up paying the $8 per bottle. You're getting 50 mils in this, so it's not a lot, but it works really well. It also has a really nice spray on it. It's a little aggressive, but it's very ultra fine, and I like that. This does really make my makeup last longer, and it takes away that powdery look, and it feels really nice on the skin. Now, my absolute favorite one that I tried this year, and I'm basically out, there's nothing left, is this. This is from Glow Recipe. This is the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. It really is ultra fine. It is the softest spray, the most glorious. Smells like you just sliced a watermelon open. And it's more than anything, it's supposed to be hydration, and it gives just great hydration. The one thing I will say about this though, I think it's $25 and you only get 75 mils. So 50 mils in this, 75 in this, very hydrating. And if you're spraying it on your face, it doesn't make your makeup last longer, but if you're looking for something to kind of knock down that powderiness, this is going to do it, and do it beautifully. If you need a midday refresher in the middle of winter when you feel like your face is so dry, it's like, can it possibly get any drier? This is really great. Now, one that I've just recently started trying and I have really high hopes for, so I'm going to mention it to you because I'm on the verge of saying this is my new Glow Recipe watermelon spray. And it's not watermelon, but it's this. It's from ColourPop. It's, you can't even tell you, it's right here. It's their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. So I don't feel like this, the spray again, is just magical. And it smells like coconuts. So this one smells a little chemically. These two smell like fruit. So I like that aspect of it. But you get 110 mils in this. So you're getting the most here. This is $14. The spray on all of these is really good, but this one I feel is really, really nice. This is the best spray, but like this is like a 10 out of 10. This is like a 9.5 out of 10, and you get more product. And because it does have hyaluronic acid in there, it does have a lot of other hydrating aspects to it. It doesn't really make my makeup last any longer. If I want that, I'll spray some of this on, but in the middle of the day, especially now in the dead of winter, it's like December 19 today. I have sprayed this on my face so many times. There's nothing left of this. I want another one, but $25 is hard for me to swallow. This here might become my replacement to the other because it is hydrating. It does knock down the powdery look of makeup. It does kind of make all the layers of makeup come together and look like one. If you're looking for longevity, you know, Urban Decay All Nighter or something like this. But if you're looking for something that's going to refresh and hydrate your face over the top of your makeup without ruining it throughout the day, ding, 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 this is incredible. All right, so there we go. That's a lot of stuff. It really, really is. But these were the products that I purchased this year that I have reached for the most, that I have used the most, loved the most, and probably recommended the most. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like I have a rogue cat hair right here. I do. I want to know what products really surprised you this year. The ones that you were kind of like, yeah, you're going to be okay. And then you were like, what? Where have you been my whole life? I would love to know in the comments down below. There are a ton of other products that I own in my collection that are top notch. I'm not saying these are the best of what I own. These are just the best of everything I tried this year. I tried a lot of makeup, but these are the ones that I continue to reach for that performed really, really, really well and met all of the high points that I needed them to meet. And so I hope that this list is helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching today. If you aren't already subscribed, would you please subscribe? I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.